Welcome to KEMA Powertest in Chalfont, Pennsylvania. Our goal is for everyone to have a safe experience at KEMA every day. To achieve this goal, we require everyone entering our facilities to read and sign our visitors' safety policy. This video will cover the details of that policy, and at the end, we will ask you to sign this document acknowledging that you've read, understand, and agree to comply with the policy. During your time here at KEMA, you will be assigned an engineer who will work to ensure that your program is safe and done in a timely manner. You will need this test engineer for several described reasons. Whenever you wish to use the assembly aisle power tool area, you must ask your assigned test engineer, and this employee will relay safety requirements for this area. Your assigned test engineer should also be the only person operating control voltage in test cells. Always check with your test engineer when setting up control instrumentation. He will ensure that all components are safe. If you are at all injured or become ill while you're at KEMA, please tell the employee you were assigned. At the end of the day, KEMA will provide an injury report for your employer. Also, inform your assigned employee anytime you plan to leave the premises or move to a different location within the facility. Illicit drugs and alcohol use or possession is strictly prohibited on KEMA premises. In addition, do not work in the assembly hall, test cells, or shipping and receiving if you are under the influence of any substance that causes a slowed reaction time. There are many forklifts, cranes, and high-reach material handling equipment on KEMA premises, but these are to be operated by KEMA employees only. If you need a heavy object lifted, please ask KEMA personnel for help. For liability purposes, we cannot allow anyone who is not a KEMA employee to operate this equipment unless you provide documentation describing the training you have for the use of material handling equipment and obtain permission from your assigned test engineer. For the safety of KEMA Powertest personnel and visitors, KEMA Powertest uses a light and bell warning system to indicate the state of readiness of any test. Please refer to documentation describing the system for more detailed information. Warning lights are visible from the test control building, from the test yard, and also from behind test cells in our assembly hall. Most importantly, test areas are not to be entered while warning lights are flashing. Any door leading to a test area has a red warning light overhead. When these lights are flashing, testing is in progress and all are not to use or exit the building through these doors. The readiness of short circuit testing within each of our test cells is indicated by a 3-color light system. A green light indicates that the test cell is safe and that project-related personnel may enter the test cell without any danger. An amber light accompanying the green light indicates that the test cell is prepared for testing to be conducted and is secured to prevent access by personnel. These cells must be void of all visitors and personnel. A flashing red light within or outside the test cell indicates that testing is about to occur for that test cell. This flashing red light will be accompanied by an audible ringing alarm. The horn is typically sounded for a 2 to 3 second burst prior to the closing of the cell in preparation for the test, which is when the flashing lights and intermittent bells begin ringing. Just prior to the event of the actual test, the test operator will provide a warning, signaling that some sort of event is imminent by sounding the horn with 2 short bursts. The test event will take place, and once the test sequence is completed, visual and audible alarms will stop. Some tests run over several hours, in which case the cell warning system will be bypassed. We will use fluorescent red tape or red chain for barriers around these test areas. Do not cross these barriers or enter certain blocked off areas without first consulting your test engineer in charge. We set up these barriers for your and all others' safety at KEMA. We have also implemented the interlock system for your protection. Do not go through an interlock door until the interlock is cleared. Operation of the interlock system is to be performed by KEMA employees only. The test cells are very close to each other, but please do not simply leave one and enter another without being advised to do so. There are several areas at KEMA, like the machine hall, where you should not enter without a KEMA employee. These areas will be indicated. In addition, areas like the machine hall are extremely loud and everyone must wear hearing protection. Hearing protection includes earplugs and muffs. Ask an employee for either of these protections. Many potential dangers at KEMA can and should be avoided by certain dress requirements. All long hair must be tied back, and any loose clothing, neckties, and dangling jewelry must not be worn. Skirts, short pants, or torn clothing in test areas, assembly halls, loading area, generator room, or machine shops present additional hazards and must not be worn. Also, do not wear sleeveless shirts. When using machines, tools, working with chemicals, and when otherwise indicated, one must wear eye protection. In addition, company-supplied dark lenses must be worn when a test is expected to produce a flash. Like eye protection, gloves must be used for various activities like handling steel cables, slings, or other objects that constitute a hazard to the hands. If indicated in an MSDS, working with certain chemicals will require you to wear chemical-resistant gloves. Safety toe boots or shoes, or toe covers with steel, titanium, or composite toes must be worn everywhere except in the test control building, the corridor between the test control building and the assembly hall, and outside areas, unless a foot hazard is possible. KEMA provides slip-on steel toes if needed. The visitor safety policy outlines what standards these shoes must meet or exceed. Everyone must also wear hard hats everywhere in this KEMA facility, except inside offices, lunchrooms, restrooms, the test control building, and the corridor. They are required outside when an overhead hazard exists. KEMA can provide these hard hats for those who do not have them already, and the visitor safety policy outlines what standards hard hats must meet or exceed. Working outside may require changes in wardrobe to protect against certain weather hazards. Wear warm coats, gloves, and/or ear protection as the weather dictates. In summer heat, we recommend you use sunscreen and that you drink plenty of fluids. Material safety data sheets are located in the corridor between the test control building and the assembly hall. Please refer to them if you have any questions or concerns about chemicals used in this facility. Also, if you bring any hazardous chemicals or components that use potentially hazardous chemicals on KEMA premises, please let your test engineer know and confirm that you have material safety data sheets for the chemicals. In the case that an evacuation of the facility should need to occur, follow these general directions to relocate yourself to our neighboring facility. If you have any questions about this evacuation procedure, speak to your assigned test engineer or refer to evacuation route maps throughout our facility. Following these safety guidelines and confirming you've signed the visitor safety policy helps us know that everyone here at this KEMA facility is going about their day in the safest way possible. If you have any further concerns or would like more information, speak to your KEMA Powertest engineer or refer to any of the safety documents we have on our premises. We're glad you were here at KEMA Powertest. Thank you for working with us to make sure that everyone stays safe.